Welcome to St. Louis, Missouri, and Budweiser Stadium. Getting ready for the San Francisco Sharks to invade Budweiser Stadium and take on the St. Louis Gladiators. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. Brought to you by APM Music. Rich Pratchard, your play-by-play commentator tonight. Sitting next to me is Andy Hamilton. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing great, Rich. I'm ready for quite the battle between these two teams. Two rookie quarterbacks as well as two smaller running backs, both looking to make a large impact for their team, as well as some good wide receiving cores for both of these teams. It's looking like a shootout, Rich.
I think you're right. Sitting in the stat booth with us is Avery Allen, going to do the math for us since we don't really want to do math.
No chance.
St. Louis 1-6 and San Francisco 3-4 coming into this one. Not a bad night. Did a game recently where we had 28-mile-an-hour winds. Tonight we've got 2.
Yeah, not windy at all, but it is cold. 27 degrees here tonight, Rich, and St. Louis was not friendly to us when it came to the warmth. I got my parka on, but boy, I'm ready for the heat on the field to start.
I am ready.
Well, I tell you what, Rich, between these two teams, neither of them are having, a year like Denver where they're just blowing everyone out of the water. But both of these teams have a lot of grit and are looking to put it together tonight. Yeah,
they both had some very close losses, particularly St. Louis last week had a really close loss to Dallas. They had a chance to win that game. But here we go, San Francisco receiving the opening kick from St. Louis. And brings it out to the 25, and that's where the Sharks will take over 1st and 10.
That was a good hit by Marquise Reed. I just want to talk about that for a second. I mean, Manning is a threat every time he touches the ball, Rich. So to get him down on a big hit like that on the first play of the game, that's not something to overlook.
Juan Thomas III, the rookie quarterback for the Sharks, drops back to throw on 1st down. Complete. Ooh. Complete for a 1st down to Gabriel Manning.
Yeah, I called it. I mean, Manning is a threat. You saw that spin move there he put on Reed that time. He's a threat every time he touches the ball. Has some big plays this season, some highlight reel-worthy plays. St. Louis is going to want to keep an eye on him. Luckily, they got Colin Douglas on the outside.
Trips to the left, one to the right for Thomas. He drops back to throw out of the shotgun. Goes to the left, short completion. It's going to be a gain of 1. Again, that one to Burnham.
Yeah, Matt Burnham. I like what they're doing here. They're trying to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers early, out in space, to try and give them some room. I'd like to see him go run here with Zulu to make sure that the St. Louis defense is being honest.
2nd and 9 for the Sharks. Up under center, Thomas drops back to throw under pressure and hit. Fumble! And it looks like it was recovered by the Sharks back there, but a lot of pressure from the St. Louis front.
Yeah, that looked like the old tuck rule you used to see in the NFL. Luckily for Thomas, his offensive line was able to scramble back and fall on top of it. 3rd and 13 here, Rich. Manning's the guy to highlight. They had it right in the truck. You got to watch him if you're this St. Louis defense.
5 wide, empty backfield for Thomas. Sitting in the pocket, has some time, throws deep over the middle, complete, down to the 30. Great throw and catch to Ermac Jackson.
Yeah, the 3rd guy in the receiving room, often gets overlooked by the way that Manning has played and the way that Burnham plays. But on the field, you got to keep an eye out for him. He finds the seam down the middle of the field, converts the 3rd and long. If you're a Sharks fan, you got to love that look.
One single back in the shotgun. Thomas to throw, going to the right, complete. That'll be enough for a 1st down. This one to Burnham.
No, he's short.
Oh, no, short. Oh, man, I didn't look down.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Van Rhee is the one who was in coverage. It looked to me like he was over the line too, Rich. Good catch by Burnham, though, to get the feet in bounds. That's a play that is undervalued in the SFL, keeping those feet down in bounds. If anyone should be telling you how important that is, it's me.
In the shotgun, 2 backs, 2 to the right for Thomas on 2nd and inches. Gonna throw, going to the right again, complete. And that one will be a 1st down.
Same sideline, same feet. And Manning gets it done. You know, move those chains, keep the drive moving. I like what I'm seeing out of San Francisco here to open this thing up.
Thomas 6 for 6 for 55 yards so far on this first drive.
He did have that one fumble. I guess that doesn't technically count as an incompletion.
Yeah, because he didn't try and throw it. So maybe he should have. Throws over the middle. It's complete. And no, it falls out of his hands. Incomplete. I thought he had that one.
Well, he took a shot. Ethan Kai was waiting in the middle for him and just put shoulder pad to chest. You know you're going to take those hits when you cross the middle and you're trying to catch that ball. Unfortunately, he just wasn't able to hold on, but they live again to see second down.
So 2nd and 10, the Sharks in the red zone at the 19. Empty backfield for Thomas. Sits back in the pocket, throws incomplete. Boy, knocked down by Marquise Reed. Dangerous throw.
Yeah, Reed came over from Vancouver in the offseason. I know St. Louis was very excited to get a player of his caliber. Had a lot of interceptions last season, and it was able to make the play on that. Van Ree was also there. You know, if you're Thomas III, might be time to look somewhere else on the field when you got 2 star players covering a guy with a lesser paid contract.
Yeah, going to the fullback out of the backfield into triple coverage. I don't know if that was the smartest throw. Empty backfield from under center, throws it towards the end zone. Wow. It is complete to Gabriel Manning. Enough for a first down.
And if you're St. Louis, you know, you got to consider just having Douglas follow Manning all over the field tonight. It looks like here he kind of loses track of him a little bit, gives him a little bit of a cushion, and Manning cuts it inside and is able to make that catch. You know, if you're St. Louis, that's your guy. I almost would let anyone on this offense beat me as long as it's not Gabriel Manning, because I know that San Francisco wants to get him the ball. So far, it's working for him. He's got 34 yards on 3 catches.
Going to a run formation this time. Offset eye, he's going to throw. Going to the back, out of the backfield. Caught, touchdown, Ogunzulu.
Wow, first touch of the day, and he finds himself a nothing but green grass and end zone in front of me. Touchdown. Nice throw, nice find by Thomas, and a well-scripted play. All the action was moving to the left side of the field, and he just found himself wide open on that right side. No, I won't be on American Idol, Rich. I know you don't have to. You don't have to say it. We all understand.
I was thinking it. Trying to think.
Well,
how to say
trust me, I was too.
All right, extra point kick is up and good. 7:37 left in this first quarter, and San Francisco strikes first, 7-0. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, brought to you by APM Music. So San Francisco goes down, does not run the ball.
No, not once, which is surprising, I think.
I agree. Thomas goes 8 for 10. And Zulu gets the touchdown, but on the reception, so. Kick's going to come down inside the 10. Turned up to the 27. And that's where the Gladiators will start their first offensive drive.
Yeah, and a lot of time came off the clock in that San Francisco drive. I'd like to see the same thing out of St. Louis. You know, take your time, get down the field, put points on the board, and, you know, maybe this isn't the shootout we were talking about, Rich, but more like a defensive stalemate where the first stop wins it.
Moody Mitchell drops back, throws it over the middle, incomplete. Good coverage by Justin Jones.
Yeah, trying for the quick hitter, and San Francisco's defense was ready for it. Jones does a good job on the outside of making a play on the ball. That's what you want out of a cornerback on some of those quick throws. You know, if you can just get a hand in there to kind of disrupt what's going on, that'll help you.
2nd down and 10 now for the Gladiators. Moody Mitchell with the I formation behind him. Going to Denzel Diaz, going to the right-hand side, has some room. Gets across the 30 to the 32. Gain of 5 will bring up 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, and we talked about Diaz and his impact. I mean, he's had such an impact for the St. Louis Gladiators over the years. And you know, what he's kind of given them out of the backfield is a smaller, shiftier back who's a little bit more speed heavy than the power running we're used to seeing in the SFL. And, you know, he's really done his job getting the yard through the air and the run.
Mitchell's going to throw left, gets the first down, and some more. Nick Finch on the reception out to the 47, 1st and 10 Gladiators.
Yeah, nice job by Finch. Out route, simple, but they got him the ball with enough time for him to turn up field. I mean, look at this. He's not, there's no one within 5 yards of him, Rich. He's got plenty of room to just turn and get where he needs to go.
Give him that much cushion, he can run that out route all day.
Yep.
First down and 10 Gladiators from their own 47. Empty backfield for Moody Mitchell. Trips to the right. Has some time, sits in the pocket, throws deep over the middle. It's complete. Down into San Francisco territory at the 35, caught by Tito Moss.
Yeah, Moss just kind of found this hole in the zone coverage here. He actually, yeah, I mean, look, he just runs. There's a little bit of openness there. There's 3 guys in the area, but none of them are within 5 yards of him. Just kind of sits in that zone, makes the grab, and is able to find some room. That's a good find by Mitchell, too, to stick with Moss and, you know, trust that he's going to come down with that ball.
Quick pass to Diaz coming out of the backfield, and he is only going to get about a yard. Stop there by Justin Jones. Bring up 2nd and 9.
Diaz has been really effective for St. Louis over the years in the passing game. So that's actually a pretty good win for San Francisco to get him off the field, or you know, not give up a lot of yards there in that pass right there, because it shows that, you know, maybe that won't work tonight for Diaz. Maybe he's got to stick to the ground game.
Moody Mitchell ducks under the sack attempt.
What a move.
Nice move by Moody Mitchell. And then throws it away to Live to throw another down.
Well, that's what you're looking for with a first overall pick like Moody Mitchell. You're looking for a guy who, when he gets in trouble, he doesn't panic. He knows how to get out of the play. And you know, they didn't get positive yards there, Rich. They threw it away. They lived to fight another day. You know, it wasn't the greatest play in the world, but it was enough to live and keep this ball at the 33, which is, you know, questionably in field goal range.
Drops back to throw, goes to the right, knocked down. Knocked down right there by Taz Curry, the free safety. And that will force a 4th down and a punt.
Yeah, I mean, from here, it'd be a 49-yarder. St. Louis does not employ a contracted kicker. So, you know, they are going to choose to punt, and, you know, not a lot of wind, whether it would be at their back or at their front, to kind of contribute to that decision. So I don't mind the punt, but still a good job by Mitchell to keep them here for the chance to pin San Francisco deep.
And the fair catch at the 11-yard line. And San Francisco will take over there, 1st down and 10.
Yeah, don't say it often, but not a great punt, Rich. I mean, that one only went, what, 22 yards?
Yeah, not a great punt. Didn't go to it. Didn't go for the corner.
Yeah, not superb. We'll see how their defense reacts here after the long San Francisco drive to start.
So Thomas comes out, will run the ball the first time, and Ogunzulu is destroyed in the backfield by Carl Forgy.
Rich, they're going to have a warrant out for that man's arrest, because that was manslaughter in the backfield. That just was not right, what that defender did to Ogunzulu.
That was, that was painful.
It's not okay.
No. 2nd and 13. Drops back, standing in his end zone. Throws deep down the middle. It's complete. Nice catch. Matt Burnham. Decent coverage there by Marquise Reed.
Yeah, I mean, he was all over him. He looked like an electric blanket on someone when they're freezing cold. I mean, look, he's wrapped around him, and Burnham still somehow makes the catch. You know, that's a play that you can't stop as a defender. You kind of throw your hands up afterwards and go, you know, I mean, what can I do?
Exactly. Offset eye. Thomas drops back to throw, throws left, complete. Complete for a 5-yard gain. Gabriel Manning brings up 2nd and 5 for the Sharks.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about last drive, Rich. They are dedicated to Manning. They're dedicated to getting him his touches. He's almost more of a back than Zulu is in this game, at least so far. They're going to get him the ball, whether it's a short pitch or a out route or a deep ball.
Zulu on the carry. Had a little bit of room and gets 4 that time. About 4.5, bring up 3rd and inches.
Yeah, if he shifted towards this near side, he might have been able to get a little bit more. But, you can't be upset with the power run up the middle that's going to get him 8. It's going to make this 3rd and inches a lot easier here. You can do a lot of things out of this, Rich. You can throw an out route to Manning. You can run up with Zulu. You can try a QB sneak if you wanted.
In a run formation, but he's going to throw again out of that formation. Goes to the left. It's complete to Manning. Breaks a tackle. Spins out of another tackle. Finally brought down and forced out of bounds by Van Ree.
Yeah, and Van Ree's lucky he didn't get called for a late hit here. If you look, Manning's out. I mean, he's hit there. I think the ref gave him the benefit of the doubt. Ref might have been a little confused there with how everything else was going by the way that Manning was spinning around, and he was probably worried about keeping his feet in bounds, much less whether the tackle was in or out of bounds. I was a little confused.
It's empty backfield for Thomas on 1st down. The throw goes right over the middle, tipped and almost picked off. So close for Drew Reilly.
Well, and that's exactly what he's saying to his other defender. He's saying, really? Really? I had it, and you came in and took it away from me. It's one of those plays where, both of the players are doing 10 push-ups afterwards because they were both at fault there. That should have been a pick.
Empty backfield again for Thomas on 2nd down, 2nd and 10. In St. Louis territory at the 44. 5 wide, drops back to throw, steps up, and he's hit. Fumble again. Picked up by the Sharks. But that's going to be a big loss.
Yeah, I don't know. That looked like an incompletion to me. Maybe a close shave, close call here. That arm looks like it's going forwards to me. But, hey, you always love seeing a big boy pick up the football and start running, Rich. That's always a fun time.
He picked up that ball, and he was thinking, man, I hope I don't have to run very far. He was.
No, I think he was trying to take it the distance. Come on.
And here we go. You're right. We've got our first Harry's close call, close shave challenge of the day. And it does look like his arm's moving forward on that one.
Well, they said a backwards thrown ball. So that's another part that comes in here was, was he turned around enough to throw that backwards? Because that is a fumble. Right. So that's something I didn't think about. That, looking at it from that second angle there, I think he might have been. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. It's overturned and incomplete.
Well, that'll move the ball back up the field. So if you're a Sharks fan, you got to like that. And good on this St. Louis crowd. They know exactly what that means because they're booing the refs here. And, it's hard being a zebra out here, Rich. No love for you.
So 3rd down and 10 now for the Sharks. 5 wide. Looking to throw, has time, goes over the middle, intercepted. Tristan Van Ree.
Man, Van Ree looked like he was running that route for San Francisco. I mean, watch this replay here, Rich. Fades off. He's playing, it looks like Burnham there, and he ran his route for him. And that's one of the things that you try and teach a good cornerback is kind of if you're going to make a play on the ball, it's easier when you understand what route the receiver's trying to run, and you can just run it for him, get in the way, and disrupt the passing lane. And Van Ree did that beautifully and was able to get right in front of it.
Single back behind Moody Mitchell. He's going to go to Diaz, going to the left-hand side. Has some room. Stop there by Barry Barkley. Gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
One of the things that you're going to get with Diaz that you don't get with some of the taller backs, Rich, is he kind of hides behind those offensive linemen. I mean, you talk about being a linebacker, standing behind some guys who are 6'8", 6'5", tall guys, and you're looking for a guy who's 5'4", or whatever it is. It's hard.
Short gain for Diaz that time. From shape sets to handles, Harry's provides quality craftsmanship made in Germany We make Harry's products from the finest materials and ingredients to ensure they perform as well as they possibly can. Use the coupon code SIMULATESNFL at purchase from Harry's.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL. Harry's, official razor of the SFL. Offset I. Mitchell hands it off to Diaz. No gain. Bring up 4th down and 3. And something I did not point out on that interception, Andy, that was Tristan Van Rie's first career interception. He's a Week 8 signing. He's a rookie that was signed for Week 8. So that was his first career.
Welcome to the league, young fella.
That's right.
He looked like a first-round pick with the way he got in front of that one.
Nice spin move by the returner. Able to get a few extra yards out to the 34. Gabriel Manning. Bring up 1st down and 10.
Yep. Manning always a threat. Every time he touches it, you got to have your special teams on point when you're playing San Francisco. I mean, he's averaging like 1 return per game almost for a touchdown, Rich. I know from the special teams player of the week, I keep seeing his name pop up in conversation, so got to look out for him every time they punt or kick off.
Ogunzulu with the carry is stopped right at the line of scrimmage by Shane Masters. No gain, 2nd and 10.
That's one thing that I know San Francisco has been trying to get going ever since they've really became a franchise, is to get Ogunzulu, really turning it. He's only got 1 yard here on 3 carries. They got to get some plays in here that get him, more involved, maybe even out of the backfield, kind of the way that they get Diaz the ball.
Looking to throw, goes left. It's complete and drags his toes to stay in bounds. And that will be a gain of 3, 3rd down and 7.
Well, since that first drive, both teams have kind of struggled here, offensively in this first quarter, as we're, this might be the last play here, depending on the result. But, San Francisco, they got to find what they had on that first drive.
Going to throw it over the middle, intercepted. Ethan Kai picks it up off of the tip. And St. Louis turns it back around and gets the ball back.
Talk about, going all out for the team. I mean, look at this. He's barely off. That ball is barely off the ground. Ethan Kai does a tremendous job of getting his hands in the right place at the right time and making a play on the ball. These ball-hawking secondary in St. Louis, they know what they're doing, Rich, and Juan Thomas III has to be very careful here.
So St. Louis back with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. In the shotgun, Moody Mitchell throwing left. It's complete. And that'll be enough for a 1st down for Cody Scott.
Yeah, it's a nice throw and catch. Scott kind of reminds me of Tiberius Bovine 2.0. He's not nearly as big and as dangerous, but, he's a down-the-field threat that you have to account for on the defensive side, a good tight end.
So that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Low-scoring defensive affair at this point. San Francisco 7, St. Louis 0. You're watching the SFL on YouTube, brought to you by APM Music. Rich Pratchard, your play-by-play commentator. And don't pay attention to the names on the screen. We've made some changes. Andy Hamilton, my color commentator tonight. And Avery Allen on stats. Nice pass from Moody Mitchell to Cody Scott. Enough for another 1st down. Out to the sharp 29-yard line.
Yeah, Scott, one of the more dangerous receivers for this Gladiator team. And you got to love it as a rookie quarterback for Moody Mitchell to have a security blanket of a tight end like Cody Scott, who you can always get the ball to in situations where you need a catch.
Offset I behind Mitchell. Going to Diaz. Cuts up in the middle. And he's going to get a couple yards. Stopped by Franco Sonati. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
There you go, Franco Sonati, another former member of the Vancouver Legion. Very glad he found a home in San Francisco. Glad to see him still around the league. one of the more underrated defensive tackles. You know, he doesn't have the big contracts, but he's doing the dirty work in the trenches.
Going to Diaz again, and he gets his head taken off. That one was Chad Guy. Just a short gain of 1, 3rd down and 6.
Man, you keep going with short gain, and I think you're talking about Diaz's height, and that's just not right, Rich. He can't help it.
You know, and I think Chad was trying to hit him in the midsection, but unfortunately took him off with the head. Steps up in the pocket. Mitchell throws left. It's complete. Out close to the 10-yard line. Badir Ajulani.
And that's a wonderful throw from Mitchell. I mean, the pocket movement there, right there, that's what gets me, Rich. You know, he moved up in the pocket. He felt where the pressure was coming from because it was from his back. You know, you can't see that. That's something you can just feel as a quarterback. Mitchell felt it. He adjusted and still threw the ball on the money. You know, wasn't pressured by what was going on around him. Just got the ball where it needed to go. Gotta love that from a first-round quarterback.
Offset eye. Mitchell goes to Diaz, going right up the middle, makes a couple moves, and is able to get it up inside the 10-yard line before Chad Guy brings him down. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, he's only got 3 yards to carry. You know, he's not doing anything super spectacular today so far, but he's getting what he needs to get done. And, you know, sometimes that's all you need out of a back is just get the yards when we ask you to and then move on and have a nice day through the air.
Single back, trips to the left. Going to go to Diaz again, but he's going to get tied up in the backfield. Stopped right there at the line of scrimmage by Sonati and Dede Sachs.
Yeah, and just as I say that, sometimes you get walloped in the backfield and you get no yards. You know, it happens,
Right.
Rich.
It happens.
These things happen.
Empty backfield for Moody Mitchell. Trips to the left. Looking to throw, has time, goes to the left, trying to get it. Looked like he was trying to get it to Tito Moss.
Yeah, it was late to the backside. That's not what you want if you're a quarterback. I mean, he's looking middle, and then just thinks he can toss it outside. There's too many guys over there. You can't force that because, I mean, you look there. If the defender makes a play on it, like if that's 2 hands instead of 1, that's a pick 6.
Yeah, Camden Hoffman just sitting back there waiting. He saw it happening.
Oh, yeah, his eyes got real big right as Mitchell turned around. He was like, uh-oh, this might happen.
All right, so we're going to go for the field goal here. Graham Northrup comes out for the Gladiators. It's going to be a 24-yard attempt. Hold is down, and the kick is up and good. 7:55 left in the second quarter. And St. Louis gets on the board, trails now 7-3 to the San Francisco Sharks.
Yeah, and it's a good drive from the Gladiators. You know, you can't expect to get a touchdown every drive. Sometimes you just got to collect your points, move on, and have a nice day. You know, the 3 points is good here. It pulls you within 4. That way, you know, if you get a touchdown on the next drive, you're in the lead now. You're not just behind. So take the points when you can get them. You know, don't get too upset. It's the long game. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
So nice return. Up past the 30 to the 32. Gabriel Manning made a couple moves.
Yeah, he's kind of like a road runner with the way that he just keeps going, man. I don't know if his calves are made of titanium or what, but this guy's got spin moves and he's got running lanes for days.
So Juan Thomas III comes up under center. So far, he's 12 for 18 for 122 yards and a touchdown tonight, but he does have those 2 interceptions. Going to Ogunzulu. He's got some room this time. Gets it out to the 38, gain of 6. Stopped by Marquise Reed.
That's a good cut run up the middle. I'd like to see them use that again later in the game, you know, when they need 4 or 5 yards, because it didn't look like St. Louis was quite prepared for it, and maybe that's because it was on first down, but that was a really good run from Zulu.
Shotgun formation for Thomas. Drops back to throw, going to the left. It's complete. And stopped just short of the line to gain is Ogunzulu. Bring up 3rd and 1.
Looks like they're making a concerted effort to get him involved on this drive, and I like to see that, Rich, because, you know, you're paying the guy the money. You'd like him to do more than just put on the jersey and look pretty.
Yeah, I agree. They need to get him going. High formation with Ogunzulu dotting that eye. Drops back to throw. Throws over the middle, tipped and knocked down. Incomplete.
Yeah, not the right throw there from Thomas. Manning was up on the top. He was a little bit open. And then you had Zulu on the bottom, two of your better played players. And you went up the middle to a lesser paid player. You know, these are the decisions you got to make as a rookie quarterback. The wrong one there, and, you know, it results in the end of a drive. On on 3rd and 1, that's convertible, Rich. You got to figure out how to get that 1 yard, you know, even if you got to dive forward and just pick it up.
Yeah, I agree. With a runner like Zulu and the weapons that they do have, that short first down pickup should have been something they could handle at that point. Return up to the 26, first down and 10, St. Louis.
Back and forth we go, though, Rich. I mean, here St. Louis, like I said, has the opportunity here. I mean, what was that, a minute or two off the clock, and now they have the chance to go right back down the field and, you know, try and put themselves ahead here instead of just, you know, tying it up. So really good by St. Louis's staff to not feel the pressure to try and get all the points back on one drive.
Moody Mitchell gives it to Diaz, trying to bounce it to the outside, but he's going to get stopped in the backfield. Barry Barkley.
Yeah, really good job by the safeties for San Francisco coming up and making that play. You know, they read that it was a run, and they came up, and, you know, don't worry about the receivers at that point. You know, you just got to get through the blocks and make a play on the back. Did just that, and they're going to force a 2nd and long here for St. Louis.
Going to Diaz right up the middle. He does make a man pay, but does get brought down again by Barkley. Bring up 3rd down and 8.
And Diaz might be the Ant-Man with the way that he just, you know, beat someone twice his size there to the ground on the run. I mean, that's punishing. You know, it's not often that a guy half your size will push you down.
That's right. Empty backfield. Moody Mitchell steps back. He's under pressure, but he does get it away. Complete. Holy cow. Cody Scott went up and pulled that one down. First down, St. Louis.
See, and there's kind of where he reminds me of Tiberius Bovine in a way. Just the way he gets down the field, you know, he's on a guy who might be smaller than him. He goes up and he gets it. That's, you know, if you've ever watched an Oklahoma City game, you know who Tiberius Bovine is. He's the tall tight end who catches about eight passes a game, but they're all, you know, deep down the field over the top. He's got to jump over a man to make the catch. Cody Scott, you know, is just him, but with less age and experience. So, you know, keep him on your radar as the seasons go by, because Scott is a guy to look out for.
Going to Diaz to the right-hand side. He is going to get stopped by Gustafson. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Really good blocking scheme out of St. Louis there. I mean, you go deep down the field, you counter with a short run. You know, that's the type of offense you need. Always keep San Francisco guessing about whether you're running or throwing.
4:46 left in the half. San Francisco 7, St. Louis 3. Moody Mitchell goes to Diaz again, cuts it back up inside, and gets the first down out to the 35-yard line.
Starting to get those legs churning, Rich. Looks a little bit like Mighty Mouse when he gets them going. I mean, good blocking there. That's a good scheme block, and then he's just out in the open field, able to pick up 7 or 8 yards, and then, you know, goes down when contact's there. No pressure to try and make anything spectacular. Just get your yards and get down.
Good vision there to cut back up into the hole that was open. You know, that run was designed to go left, but he found that hole to the right. Empty backfield, trips to the left. Moody Mitchell drops back. Looking to throw, has time, goes left. It's complete. Enough for another first down into the red zone. Nick Finch on the reception.
Yeah, it's all leverage here. He has the inside leverage. The throw is right on the money. You know, he puts it between the receiver and the sideline enough to where, you know, it's only the receiver who's going to make that catch. Otherwise, you know, that's going down to the turf. You know, it's not going to be anything where he, you know, is going to throw an interception there. It's a good throw by Mitchell.
Going empty backfield again for Mitchell. Has plenty of time, sits in the pocket, throws right, it's complete. Enough for the first down. Can he get in the end zone? And it looks like he's in to me. Touchdown, St. Louis.
Count it.
Cody Scott, we were just singing his praises, and he powered his way into the end zone on that one.
Yeah, usually a down-the-field receiver, not the guy you would expect to make a catch 5 yards past the line of scrimmage and outrun a linebacker, but he did so. He got to the end zone. I mean, he just had enough room there, Rich. If there was another yard or two, I don't know if he makes it.
Yeah, he got the ball out there across the pylon, and yeah, I think you're right. If there would have been another yard or two, he'd have been stopped short. But that one counted. That's all that matters to St. Louis. Zabrowski for the extra point, and it is up and good. So St. Louis takes their first lead of the game, 10-7, with 3:37 left in the half. The SFL is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. Extraordinary Everest, heartfelt messages on the most extraordinary place on earth. Bit Central and Fuel, transforming SFL media in 2019. And Harry's, all you need for a close, comfortable shave. Manning with the return. We got some MeUndies laundry on the field. And comes out to the 30. But let's wait and see what this is. It's going to be a clip on the Sharks. And that will back them up.
Well, Dwayne Schindler in the chat there, Rich, letting us know that Cody Scott just tied the all-time St. Louis touchdown receptions record. So that's big for Scott, considering, you know, how young he is and his career is just getting started. You know, that's big for him.
It's ball at the 15-yard line after that penalty. Juan Thomas III drops back to throw. Under pressure, he gets hit, and he is sacked. Back at the 7-yard line. Sack was Carl Forgy again, getting back there and getting a hold of somebody.
Yeah, and that's the pressure you get when you got a guy like Masters. I mean, he's right there behind those two guys who made the sack. But, you know, that defensive front was coming, and Thomas had to be careful there. You know, gave up a few extra yards. You know, you'd like to see him go down a little bit earlier. You know, first drive was good for him. Since then, he's kind of struggled. Let's see how he bounces back here, Rich. He's got all the opportunity in the world.
And off to Ogun Zulu. And he's going to gain about a yard before he is brought down. Bring up 3rd down and 17. MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/simulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help the SFL through our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and returns, signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. But here we go, the pass behind the defense, and Matt Burnham's going to take it to the house. Touchdown, Sharks.
Well, talk about burning them, Rich. I mean, what a throw, what a catch. It looked like the defender, you know, essentially sold out to make a play on the ball, and it just didn't work out for him. If you look here, right there, Ethan Kai comes up to make a play, and he whiffs. You know, you only really do that if you think you have it. So, unfortunately for Ethan Kai, he just missed, and Burnham is able to take it the distance. You know, Kai's the last man back, and just didn't get a hand on the ball. So, you know, unfortunate for St. Louis's defense, but, you know, not something to necessarily hang your head on. You know, you got to make a couple of those plays, Rich, to sell out. And, you know, you either make it or you miss it. And St. Louis just missed that time. San Francisco benefits and retakes the lead.
Yeah, St. Louis had them pinned back there pretty well. So they got to take that and just build on that. Shake this one off. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it's good. So San Francisco grabs the lead back with 2:24 left in the half, 14-10 over the Gladiators. Some score updates from the other games going on in the SFL. Vancouver 17, Queen City 7, and Las Vegas 24, Atlanta 3. Both of those in the second quarter.
As a neutral party, I like that Vancouver score.
Very neutral, right?
Yes, very neutral. As neutral as can be wearing my Vancouver hoodie.
All right, that kick comes back out to the 30-yard line, and St. Louis will go back to work right there, first down and 10.
Yeah, and with your last drive, you had everything. You had some passes, you had some good runs. Don't change too much here. Just get some Gatorade on the sideline, get back out there, and get ready to rock and roll again. Rich, you got 2:21 here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and use all of that and get points out of it.
Single back. Denzel Diaz behind Moody Mitchell. Drops back to throw. As time goes left, it's complete.
Nice.
Breaks a tackle, still going down to the 40-yard line. Badir Ajloni on the reception.
Yeah, Ajlani, he's a bad man, Rich. He comes out of his break here and just cuts to the left. If you look, right this last second, look at that. And the defender just doesn't have time to react, and then, breaks the first tackle, and by that point, he's against Chad Guy down there. The linebacker's way deep in coverage, and, that's a great first play here. Take it to the 2-minute warning and keep working it here. You're just about 15 yards outside of field goal range.
So that does bring us to the Quip 2-minute warning. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with time vibrations, brush head refills for $5. Refilled every 3 months, covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in the chat, and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome clean. So first down and 10 from the 41, going to Diaz to the left, and he is going to get stopped by Chad Guy. Want to comment on that last pass. That was a well-designed play, Andy. They had 3 receivers in the same area that got all those defenders bunched up. And then they were... Ajloni was able to break out of that.
Yeah, it makes it hard for the defender because you have to make, it's another choice. Do you guard the outside guy? Do you guard the inside guy? You got to pick one, and that split-second decision could be the difference between 30 yards or 5.
Mitchell sits back in the pocket, has time, but doesn't get rid of it, and is sacked. Chad Guy comes in and brings down Mitchell.
And that's a coverage sack there. Essentially Mitchell stood in there as long as he could. He just ran out of options and had to eat the yards, but, not the direction you want to be going in the 2-minute drill.
Moody Mitchell, deep drop, steps to the left, throws to the right, and it's complete. Just short of the first down, and St. Louis is going to take their first time out.
Stay on your feet. Ajlani had the yardage here. He had the room in front of him. It's a good pass from Mitchell. He just fell down and was not able to get up. I mean, look at that. He's got the yards there, Rich. If he just makes the catch on his feet, and, maybe it's on Mitchell for a little bit better of a throw, but now you got a decision to make. It's a 49-yarder that you can attempt, and it looks like they will. 58 seconds left. No star kicker. You think he's got the cannon?
Well, I don't know. It's a 50-yard kick from where they're spotting it. This is a long kick. No wind, though. No wind to battle with, so let's see what he's got. High snap, holds us down, though, and the kick is up, and good. Just gets through. Nice.
I tell you what it was, Rich. I left my box fan on here in the press box.
That's it.
That was it. Sorry, San Francisco. Didn't mean to do it. Next time I'll turn it off.
So St. Louis gets within 1, 14-13. Got 53 seconds left here in the first half.
Well, that's big for the rest of the game. Those 3 points, that's something that St. Louis can hang their hat on having. They're only down by 1.
Manning on the return, has some room, gets out across the 35 to the 36. Marquise Reed brings him down there. First down and 10, Sharks.
Consistent, great field position for San Francisco is helpful. 49 seconds, 2 timeouts. Interested to see if they, try and run it out and take this one to the break, or if they decide to, air it out and try and go for this one. They got the receiving threats.
They're in a passing formation, shotgun formation, 3 wide, 2 backs in the backfield. Drops back, throws it over the middle. It's complete. And San Francisco will take their first timeout.
I like that early timeout. It leaves enough time on the clock here. You take one shot to get in field goal range, and then, you can really do whatever you want. Great throw from the rookie here. stands in and delivers a good ball to Burnham. Burnham, good job of holding on even though he knows he's taking the hit.
So first down and 10 now for San Francisco. 44 seconds left in the half. 2 timeouts. Back in the shotgun. Ogunzulu to his right. 2 tight ends on the left side of the formation. Drops back to throw, goes left, and dropped.
Oh.
Just flat dropped by one of those tight ends I was just talking about, Justin Towns.
Heartbreaking. He had the ball. He was going to step out of bounds with it. Had the first down yardage, just dropped it. It's called thinking before you grab it, Rich. It's always important to make the catch first.
Make the catch before you try and run. Empty backfield, 5 wide. Juan Thomas drops back, goes left, almost picked off. Marquise Reed had his hands on that ball.
Marquise, he's in the chat, baby. Do your push-ups. Come on, man. You had a touchdown there. That was 7 points. That was going to change the face of this game. Reads it perfectly, steps right in front, hits him right in the gut. That's killer. That's the type of play that you have nightmares about, Rich, when you're sleeping. And, you try and catch the ball and you can't get your hands to the right spot. Terrifying.
Get the jugs machine out for practice and start catching the balls.
Yep.
5 wide, back in the shotgun. 36 seconds left on the clock. 3rd and 10 for the Sharks. Looking to throw, has some time, goes to the right and tipped. And again, Marquise Reed gets his hands on it and can't pull it down.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily blame Thomas for that throw. It looked a little wonky. It was off his back foot, but 3rd and 10 outside of field goal range, you had to hope for some type of mystery or some type of, what am I trying to say?
Miracle.
Yeah, that's the word.
They're gonna.
I don't get many of those. I don't know what they are anymore.
No. So, and going for the coffin corner this time, and they're going to fair catch it at the 10-yard line. So I would anticipate with 24 seconds left, we may see a couple runs or may just kneel it down and get out of here. We'll see what St. Louis decides to do.
Yeah, and for everything that St. Louis has done on the offensive side, give Diaz a few more carries here and just get off the field down by 1. That's a good first half by your boys. Make the adjustments at the break and see what you can come back out with.
Now they're going to get in the shotgun, and looks like they're going to try and move the ball down the field. They've still got 2 timeouts to work with. Going over the middle, incomplete.
Oh, and you got to be careful. Mitchell, so far tonight is having a pretty solid game. 11 of 15, 1 touchdown, no picks. 168 yards. The last thing you want to do is shake his confidence by throwing an interception here. And the other thing you don't want to do, Rich, here is San Francisco has 2 timeouts. You'd hate to have to kick it to Gabriel Manning one more time. You'd like to just run the ball here and get out of this half.
Back in the shotgun, Mitchell. Again, looking to throw, has some protection, can sit back in the pocket. Goes left, and it's just dropped, incomplete, trying to get it to Nick Finch.
When you're saving San Francisco timeouts here, even if you run it on this play now, the Sharks only have to take 1 timeout. They'll have 1 left. And with Manning returning kicks, it's not impossible that they don't get this ball inside the 40-yard line and have a, whether it's a Hail Mary attempt or you run 1 pass, take a timeout, and then kick the field goal, there's a lot of clock left. And, all right, who am I? Spread them out. Go wide.
Trips to the right, 1 to the left. Let's see what Mitchell does. He's going to go deep to the right-hand side, knock down Justin Jones with the deflection. 9 seconds left, so
I'm not going to say a thing, Rich. I'm not jinxing anybody here. That's the last thing I'm doing.
Yeah, a little bit of strategy happening.
I said it a couple times. We'll see if they listened or if
So Zabrowski standing in his end zone to punt this one away. And Gabriel Manning will receive it, and he's going to call a fair catch.
3 seconds. You got time for a Hail Mary.
Yes, you do. 3 seconds, and they're definitely in Hail Mary territory here.
Manning's a tall boy. I'm not saying anything, Rich. I don't like how this is looking.
So you've got 3 wide receivers that are going to be going out wide. All of them 6'4". 6'6" quarterback. So he's going to send 4 receivers out wide. This will be the last play of the half. Let's see what San Francisco can do. He's under pressure and he's sacked. Did not and could not get rid of the ball quick enough. And brought down by Shane Masters.
Well, and there it is. St. Louis just wanted to get Masters a sack before the halftime break. It worked to perfection, just like I called.
That's right. So that'll bring us to the end of the first half. This is a close one. San Francisco 14, St. Louis 13. And let's check our halftime stats. San Francisco throwing the ball around, 241 yards passing for Thomas, 165 for Mitchell. Not much of a run game for Ogunzulu, though.
No, not yet. But, you know, there's still time. There's a whole second half. And once you kind of see what the other team has set up, it's a little bit easier to make your adjustments and get out there and try and, you know, see what you can do. So I'd like to see San Francisco use a few more of those up-the-gut runs again. Some of them were successful. You know, get Zulu involved. Make sure St. Louis is watching the pass and the run.
So for St. Louis, Cody Scott has 4 catches for 60 yards. Asloni has 3 catches for 55 yards, and Finch 2 for 34. Diaz 13 carries for 40 yards. For the Sharks, Gabriel Manning 5 receptions for 52. Matt Burnham 5 catches, 152 yards and a touchdown so far tonight. And Jackson 1 catch for 33 yards, and Zulu again at 3 yards rushing. There's Cody Scott's power into the end zone there. Get him
it's a good run.
Yeah,
good run by him. Usually he's a down the field guy. You know, usually you'd only expect him to score a touchdown like Burnham here when he's got no one in front of him. But, you know, able to use that speed to get to the corner. I mean, he is a professional for a reason. And that's a good segue, Rich. If any of you in the chat want to be a professional football player, you can join the Discord in the description and get on the field for next season. Rookie check-ins start on Wednesday. Don't miss your chance to be a SFL star.
I was a part of that rookie process last year. It was good, a lot of fun. So if you're just joining up, make sure you get involved. Or you're just getting in here and checking things out, make sure you get involved. It's great. It's a great community to be a part of. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we talk sports, we talk everything. So, you know, even if you're a little iffy on being a player, you know, hop in here. It'll let you know when the games are. You know, and you're just in a group with people who love sports. So the Discord is in the description. Just click the link and hop in and introduce yourself in the introductions channel, and we'll get you all set up to meet everyone and have a good time.
So you'll like this score update. At the half, Vancouver 27, Queen City 7.
Yeah, I neutrally have no comment about that, but I'm cheering on the inside.
That kick was brought out to the 27-yard line, and St. Louis will start the second half on offense. The other game, Las Vegas 31, Atlanta 10 at the half. Las Vegas got hot early in the season, cooled down a little bit, but it looks like they're picking things back up.
Yeah, long season to go. You know, there's still a couple weeks, you know, before we start really getting into the playoff situation. So, you know, lots of teams trying to make their play and be in that conversation.
Moody Mitchell drops back, throws deep. It's complete. Nick Finch out close to midfield, and a Gladiator first down.
Yeah, good throw, good catch. Mitchell, you know, that's a good way to start a half off, you know, is just come out and make a good throw to a nice receiver in a tight window and pick up a first down and keep things rolling down the field. So, you know, whatever they said to him at the halftime break, Mitchell and Finch took it to heart and made the play on the field there. That's a nice way to come out of the locker room, eh, Rich?
That's right. Absolutely. First down and 10. St. Louis at their own 48. Mitchell drops back, sits in the pocket, has time. Just kind of dumps it over to the right. Dangerous throw into traffic, but again, Nick Finch pulls that one in.
Yeah, his fourth catch, 59 yards, not necessarily overshadowing Burnham there. That's a little bit of an interesting comparison, but for St. Louis, him and Ajlani are doing the work, as well as Cody Scott, all of them between 50 and 60 yards apiece. So nice job by Mitchell to get everyone involved.
Going to Diaz out of the eye, goes to the right-hand side, finds a hole, and just short of the line to gain.
That yellow line is not official, folks. It's got to be the guy on the field, and if you actually look to the top, that marker was, another half a yard further. Yeah, if you look right now, Rich, it's another half a yard further. It's the end of the yellow boundary that he's got to get past. Good call.
Back in the I formation on third down. See if they go to Diaz again, and they are going to Diaz to the right, and he gets the first down this time and drags the defender, J.J. Stallion, with him a little ways.
Yeah, Stallion grabbed him by the top of the helmet to bring him down. I guess it's hard when you're tackling a guy, another foot shorter than you. I wouldn't know. I was always the short guy on the field, never really was the taller one.
First down at 10, Gladiators. Drops back. Moody Mitchell sitting in the pocket, goes over the middle. It's incomplete, trying to get it to Ajlani.
Yeah, that was a questionable throw. A lot of pressure on the receiver, from the defenders. Not necessarily a throw or a situation you want to put that receiver in. You're trying to get the ball to an open guy, not ask the guy to make a catch that he's not prepared to make. It's great when they come down with it. It's special, but you can't expect them to always come down with that play.
Offset eye. Looking to throw again. Sits in the pocket. Has time, but this time he's hit from behind. And sacked.
Yeah, DD.
Yeah, DD sacks.
Only the one tackle today for DD, but he makes the sack when it counts here. Right up, he's working on the guard, and Mitchell doesn't have time to react. It's kind of coming from the back, the blind side, and it'll bring up this 3rd and long. We'll see how St. Louis reacts. Cody Scott hasn't got to catch this half. Let's see if they go to him here.
Trips to the right, one to the left, drops back to throw on 3rd down. Going to Diaz out of the backfield, but he is pinned up quick by Gustafson. No gain, 4th and 13.
Yeah, things were covered down the field. It's actually a good job by Mitchell to, find a guy, who might be able to make something spectacular happen, get the ball out of your hands, because you as a quarterback are usually not the most nimble-footed guy on the field, and give someone else the opportunity to make a play.
Zabrowski standing back at his 42. Will punt this one away to Manning. And a fair catch at the 13, and the Sharks will take over first down and 10. The SFL is presented by Matt Doyle Designs, official design partner of the SFL. MediaTek Institute. Visit mediatek.edu for diploma programs. Turn your passion into your profession. Me Undies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women. And Movement. Premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. Pump fake. And somehow Juan Thomas fits that one into a hole. Complete.
Yeah, good throw, better scheming. Essentially what San Francisco did here is they ran all the receivers to almost the same spot. They just said essentially, you guys can cover 5 of us in this area, but you're not going to cover 6 of us. Someone's going to be open, and Thomas found the right guy.
So trips to the right. Juan Thomas throws it, and it is tipped and knocked down. Well, I'm not sure what he was doing there, but threw it right at Haskins.
Well, it's not December yet, but it was the season of giving, and Thomas tried his best to give a gift, but St. Louis said, no, it's all right. You guys can keep it. That's really too much.
Second down and 10 now for the Sharks. From their own 24, I formation behind Thomas. Everybody else in tight. Drops back to throw. Throwing over the middle, and again knocked down. Incomplete. Tristan Van Ree had his hands on it.
Yeah, I'm liking this Van Ree guy, man. He's all over the field. He's been making plays. His first career pick tonight. He's having a good night here in St. Louis. Budweiser Stadium's loving him. I wouldn't be surprised if, when we come back here, Rich, they got a couple of his jerseys around the fans section.
4 wide for Thomas. 3rd down and 10. Throws it to the left. It is complete. Enough for a 1st down. Gabriel Manning makes the catch. I know that surprises you.
Yeah, shocked. They kind of use the referee as a pick play here. Often something you see in the SFL. That referee is usually going to be around the same spot on the field, so sometimes you target him in order to make it harder for the defender to make a play. I mean, it worked there.
It did. Going to go to the air on 1st down, and that one kind of drops at the feet of the receiver, Towns.
Yeah, it looked like a timing play there, Rich, and it looked like whether it was Towns or Thomas who was offline, Towns turned around and the ball wasn't there just yet, and Thomas, as soon as he noticed that, Towns was waiting for it, he tried to get it there as quick as possible, and, just something they got to work on a little bit more in practice, whether it's Towns or whether it's Thomas who's new to the team. They got to get on the same page.
Right. Single back, going to go to Ogunzulu, tries to bounce it outside, but nothing doing there. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage by Tristan Van Ree. Bring up 3rd and 12.
Tackle for loss. I'm telling you, the 25s, get them in the shop. Here at Budweiser Stadium, one of the better stadiums in the SFL. They put on a lot of shows. They have a lot of stuff going on around the stadium. One of the fan favorites. So get those 25s out.
Oh, hit, and the ball will be incomplete. But good pressure by the St. Louis front.
Yeah, great pressure. That one kind of floated up there after it bounced off his hands. A little bit dangerous. I was almost waiting for the defender to roll over and make the pick.
So that forces a 4th down punt from the Sharks. Temps standing back at his own 20. And a very short return. Good coverage by the Sharks. And St. Louis will take over 1st down and 10 from their own 22-yard line.
Well, one point here is the difference, Rich. It's been more of a defensive battle than it has been a shootout, but, we've got some highlight-worthy plays here so far. Whole 1.5 to go. I'm excited. Someone's going to come out and make a play.
So Diaz on the carry. He's going to gain 5 before he is hit hard.
Yeah, and 3.3 yards per carry. Doesn't look like anything superb, but Diaz is doing the work in the trenches, and he's making the Sharks, be cognizant of the fact that he's on the field, and that's something that, you want out of your back is to be a rushing threat on every play. You want the defenders to have to account for where he is.
Moody Mitchell drops back, has plenty of time, steps up in the pocket, rolls to the right, and he's just going to get rid of it to avoid the sack. Great coverage there by the Sharks to force that incompletion.
It looked like he was trying to run over and hand it off to Denzel Diaz, and that's what they're talking about when they go back to the huddle. It's like, listen, either Diaz has got to go block for him or he should probably turn upfield and try and make the catch because, it won't help if they run into each other on the sideline.
Yeah, Diaz just kind of stood there and watched that sack happen. I'm sure he's going to hear it from the coach. Hands it to Diaz, and he's going to pay for that one. Brought down in the backfield. John Osiris on the tackle.
And not a good drive. That's one of those you want to go over to the sideline and, maybe forget.
Yeah, I agree. I think the offense might get together on the sideline after this series and maybe get on the headset with the coaches up in the press box, try and figure this one out.
Yeah, get the whiteboard out, play some hangman or whatever you play. I don't know. Is that what they're doing on the sideline?
Tic-tac-toe.
Oh, okay.
You know, you got the X's
That's
and
a little
O's.
more simple. Yeah, the hangman game, you know, you got to think of letters, and sometimes I try and throw some numbers in there, and that just gets confusing because I'm not good at math.
You got to remember, we're dealing with offensive linemen.
Right.
And I could say that. I was one, so.
Oh, well, I'm just mean, so.
Yeah. It's the San Francisco ball, first down and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Decent field position, empty backfield for Juan Thomas. Drops back to throw. Goes over the middle. It is complete. And enough for a first down. Gabriel Manning on the reception.
11 yards a catch, and you know, we just saw that play on the last drive, Rich. Essentially, you know, Manning's going to use the ref here as a little bit of a screen. He just runs a slant, and the ref was trying to get out of the way there. I don't know if you saw it. He knew what was coming. Unfortunately for St. Louis, they didn't know what was coming, and they couldn't get there to make the play. You know, if I'm San Francisco, I'm just going to keep running that till St. Louis stops it.
So 4 wide, empty backfield. Tight end on the right-hand side of the formation. Long count for Juan Thomas. Drops back to throw, goes to the right, and it's complete for a short gain to Matt Burnham. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6.
And that just makes this 2nd and 6 a little bit more manageable. I'd like to see them run the ball here. You know, keep this balance going. Make sure you keep St. Louis guessing on whether it's a run or a pass. Even if you don't gain more than a yard, you know, you're still making that defense question whether you're going to run the ball or throw it each time. If you just continue to throw, they're just going to start dropping everyone.
Back in the shotgun. He's going to throw again. Throws it complete. And that's enough for a first down. Trying to catch that number. Who made that catch? Just kind of dumped it over the line of scrimmage to the tight end, Razor. And that's a 1st and 10 for the Sharks at the St. Louis 24. 2 wide left, 1 right. Single back, Ogunzulu behind Thomas. Sits in the pocket, looking to throw, goes to the right, complete, and just short of the first down. Matt Burnham does drag his feet, stays in bounds, but 2nd and inches.
Yeah, and Afalabi looked like he kicked him a little bit there out of bounds. You know, gave him a little nudge and said, hey, drop it, please.
It's back to the offset eye. Ogunzulu at the back of the formation. He's going to throw. Goes left. He's complete, and that's enough for a first down. Gabriel Manning on the reception. Marquise Reed on the coverage.
And for as good as Colin Douglas is on that outside, he has not had his best night guarding Gabriel Manning, whether it's just a testament to how good Manning is or whether it's a scheme fit or, whether it's Colin Douglas who's, had too many tacos this evening. Not a great night for him.
Pass over the middle. Oh, I thought I was calling a touchdown. He got dropped just short of the first down and just short of the end zone. Matt Burnham. Nice little inside route there. 2nd inches at the 1. Technically, they can still get a first down. Offset eye, drops back to throw. Going into the end zone, off the fingers of that tight end. That's the 2nd pass he's dropped. Kelvin Bryant off the fullback, sorry.
What a scheme design. They had Zulu running out to the right. All attention was over there. No one watches the fullback out of the backfield. Almost was like that Chiefs play where they did the little jump pass, except he didn't jump. And, they fooled everyone. They fooled me. Just couldn't make the grab. Unfortunate.
You know why everybody doesn't pay attention to the fullback coming out of the backfield? Because he can't catch. Don't throw the ball to him.
Well.
Offset eye. Looking to throw. They're going to try it again into the end zone.
Oh, he got it
incomplete.
there.
Oh, they do say he got it. He got it. Touchdown.
Maybe they'll review it, but he sure looked like he got it to me, and he dragged the feet that time, Rich, so take that. He can catch.
He just heard me. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Look.
They said, we'll draw up the same thing. Even more room there. Look, yes. Douglas is watching on, got those toes in bounds. I don't know. It looks good to me.
It looked good on the replay, that's for sure. Looked good on the replay. So San Francisco gets back on the board. Pending this extra point. And the kick is up and good. So 2:15 left in the third quarter. San Francisco 20, St. Louis 13.
21, Rich.
20. Oh, what did I say? 20? Yeah, 21.
Yeah, math can be hard. I'm not good at it either. You know, that's why we have our stats guy to do our math for us.
That's why Avery Allen's sitting over here doing stats, because I told you I don't math.
Don't do math, kids.
The kick comes back out to the 30-yard line, first down and 10. St. Louis. Juan Thomas, I was going to read these stats here. Juan Thomas is 24 for 39. That's 61%, 62% for 319 yards. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Ooh-wee.
Leave those
pretty.
2 yeah, get rid of those 2 interceptions, and that's not a bad day to start with, but get rid of those 2 interceptions. And
still a one-possession game here, though.
that's right. So Moody Mitchell goes left. It's complete. Enough for a first down. Cody Scott.
It looked almost like he got dragged down by the throat there. I mean, Chad Guy is going for heads, necks, whatever he can grab, Rich, and still a first down, though. I like Scott. He's a good tight end. They got to get him more involved.
Yeah, he looked like he took a little issue with that tackle style there.
Well, I did too, but, you know, I'm up here in the booth. What am I going to say?
Trips to the left, one to the right from Mitchell. He's going to go to Diaz to the left, and Diaz is getting nothing. Stopped at the line. Well, stopped after a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
It's not bad, though. Again, you know, the balance that makes sure that San Francisco is thinking about what they're running on this next play, whether it's a run or a pass here on 2nd and 9. You know, that nervousness, the anxiousness of not knowing, that's good.
They're going to go to Diaz again to the left. Has some room. Gain of 7 out to midfield. And that will be our ever scroll block of the game.
And it was a good one. You know, he sprung Diaz for a couple extra yards. And, you know, that's what you want.
So 3rd down and 2 right at midfield. In the shotgun, Moody Mitchell with 3 wide. Steps up, but he's going to get hit and sacked.
Oof.
Brought down back at the 40-yard line.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, you need 1 yard and you line up in the shotgun. You know, you think it's an easy enough throw and catch, and, you know, you don't account for the guy coming outside and making the sack to drop you back for a loss of a couple yards. And, you know, it ends your drive and pretty much will take us to the 4th quarter here. You know, a good play by San Francisco's defense coming up big on a pressure down to get off the field and force St. Louis into a punt.
Punt to Gabriel Manning, and he's going to get stopped after a short return out to 29, first down and 10, San Francisco, and that'll bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. San Francisco 21, St. Louis 13. Ever scroll by Movement blocks blue light to protect your eyes from digital screens. Don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL Action. Protect them and see every moment by using the promo code SimulationFL at purchase from movement.com. That's MVMT.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL through our partnership. Movement premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. So 1st down and 10 to start off the 4th quarter for San Francisco. Drops back to throw. Goes to the left. Juan Thomas, who's got the first down.
Nice toss there to keep the ball inbound, keep this clock rolling, makes the catch, moves the chains. You know, I like pretty much everything about that play.
So 1st down and 10 from the 40 now. Trips to the right swings to the left, empty backfield for Juan Thomas. Looking to throw, steps to the right, throws over the middle, knocked down, incomplete. Nice play by Hootie Haskins, the safety.
Yeah, Haskins has made a few plays tonight, maybe none bigger than that, to jump up and defend that one at a really good moment, you know, to force this 2nd and 10. It also stops the clock. You know, really surprising play, too, because with the coverage that he was running, that wasn't his assignment. You know, he just kind of had the instincts to jump and make the play.
Still a one, like you said, still a one-score game here. St. Louis can make a stop and get something done on offense. That pass is good enough for a first down.
Looks similar.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say it looks similar to the play we saw just before that last one. You know, an out route there where he's able to turn up field, and Van Ree lays a lick on him on the sideline, but not before he can move the chains and get to the 46.
First down and 10, Sharks. And you got a lot of cushion there by the defensive backs on most of these wide receivers. So they're able to run those out routes, especially on the wide side of the field. Going to fake the ball, play action to Zulu, and he's going to get hit and sacked. Juan Thomas III is brought down by Carl Forgy. I think that's his 2nd sack of the game.
Yeah, Forgy igniting the fans here at Budweiser Stadium, getting them excited. You know, they need big plays like that to turn the momentum of this game. You know, it's not something where they can just, you know, rely on the clock to get them back in it. You know, these fans can play an impact here in the 4th.
Over the middle, complete to the 46, bring up 3rd down and 9. Going to that tight end again. Juan Thomas, 3rd down and 9 with an offset eye. 2 wide right, 1 wide left. Short drop, and he's hit and sacked. He had nowhere to go. Mo Biggins.
Talk about getting the fans back into it, Rich. I mean, nothing does it more than an interception. And, you know, a sack is probably second to that. So, you know, St. Louis gets off the field in a big way, gets those fans excited about the opportunity to get back on the offensive side of the ball. Good job by this defensive front for the Glads.
And that punt's going to come down inside the 10 and bounce into the end zone, touchback. So the Gladiators will get the ball first down and 10 from their own 20. You know, and we talked about it, one-score game. They needed to make a stop and now produce on offense.
Yeah, and Cody Scott's your leading receiver so far for St. Louis with 72 yards. And, you know, he's caught 83% of the throws sent his way. You know, I'd be looking at him on this drive at least 2 times, you know, in the opening 4 plays.
Mooney Mitchell goes out to the right-hand side, and that's complete to Ajlani. Only a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, the fans seem to like it, so I guess that counts for something, huh?
It does, I guess. Going to stop that clock, though. 8:27 left in the game. Try and preserve all those timeouts that they can. Shotgun formation, 2 backs and 2 wide. Mitchell drops back. Throws left, it's complete. Cody Scott.
Tight end versus linebacker. I mean, it's kind of the same thing you see with the big 87 in New England, which we won't name, but
No,
you know, it kind of, you know, is a mismatch. You know, your linebacker's not going to be able to guard a guy like that, you know, as often as you'd like. So, you know, that's a good throw.
Pump freight from Mitchell sits in the pocket, throws incomplete. Oh, off the fingertips of Cody Scott. And that'll force a fourth down and a punt.
Well, it was a quick throw design. You know, Scott ran the slant, and he was supposed to throw it a lot earlier than he actually did. He kind of let Scott develop that route a little bit more, and I like that move from Mitchell. You know, let him get some space on that linebacker. The problem was he threw it too high instead of out to the sideline a little bit more and didn't really give Scott, the chance to play the ball as much as he had to play the defender.
So Manning will call the fair catch, and San Francisco will get great field position at their own 46-yard line. 7:34 left in this fourth quarter.
Still a lot of time if you're this St. Louis defense, but I mean, you hear it's almost silent in here, Rich. You got to get this crowd back into this game with a big play.
So those corners still playing pretty soft off of those wide receivers. Empty backfield. Juan Thomas goes to the left on the out route. It's complete. Gabriel Manning, gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Yeah, under 100 yards for Manning, though. I mean, maybe St. Louis considers that a win for them, to keep Manning under those numbers. I mean, they're definitely not getting hurt by him, but Matt Burnham has just been killing them. I mean, he's up over 170 yards on only 8 catches. So, you got to lock down both of those guys if you want to make an impact here. You can't just lock down one.
2 wide left, 1 wide right, 2 backs. And Ogunzulu trying to make some room there and gets brought down quickly by Afolabi.
Yeah, a little bit of a designed surprise play where they tried to get Zulu the ball underneath without anyone really noticing, and St. Louis noticed that pretty well. Here you go, 3rd and 4, chance to get off the field without any damage.
High formation, everybody else in tight. They're going to try and go to Zulu again to the right-hand side. Breaks the tackle, gets the first down. And tackle finally made by Marquise Reed, but not before Zulu gets out to the 40-yard line in a 1st and 10.
Yeah, I mean, determination. Look at this. I mean, he's stuck there, and then he, keeps going and keeps those legs churning, and that's what you want out of a back is, that never-go-down attitude where, nothing is enough. I want every yard that I can get, and he did that so just there. And, I mean, Juan Thomas has come back from those interceptions really well, Rich. I mean, that's something we're undervaluing, I think, a little bit is, his impact on this game after throwing 2 picks.
I agree. Thomas sits in the pocket, but he's sacked. Brought down back at the 46-yard line. This time the sack made by Mo Biggins.
And that's something we saw them do, on this last drive, right around the same area of the field was, bring the pressure on the defensive front and force Thomas, a rookie, into feeling pressured like that. I like that decision from St. Louis, and I'd like to see it here again. Bring the pressure up the middle, make Thomas make a bad decision potentially, and get this game going, get these fans back in this thing.
2 wide right, 1 wide left. Throws over the middle on a post route, incomplete. Trying to get the ball again to the tight end, Razor, but incomplete, brings up 3rd and 17.
Yeah, it wasn't a poor throw, just, poor execution on the catch, and 3rd and 17 here. I'm going to harp on it again, but you got to guard Manning, you got to guard Burnham. Jackson has only got 1 ball for 33 yards, and, it hurts you a little bit, but you can't necessarily consider him a threat just yet. Guard those 2 outside guys and see what happens.
Thomas drops back to throw. He's got some pressure. He gets hit and sacked. Boy, this St. Louis defensive line and linebackers, they're stepping up. That time it was Shane Masters that got to the quarterback.
Masters showing, he's got the fight in him. He wants to get back in this game. 2 sacks for him, and, they get off the field again, forcing San Francisco into another punt. Just what you want.
Yeah, the St. Louis defense is coming out and doing what they need to do. Now the offense has to do their job. Return out to the 18-yard line. St. Louis has a long way to go, but they've got plenty of time. 5:14 left on the clock. 3 timeouts.
Yeah, and only 8 points separating the 2 teams, and there's still time. I mean, 5 minutes with all 3 timeouts for both teams. I mean, this thing isn't dead, even if they do drive down the field and score here, they even if they miss the 2-point conversion, they still have enough time to get into field goal range.
Diaz has plenty of room, and he breaks one down to the 40. It's a race down to the 40, to the 30, 25, 20, 10. Oh, and stopped just inside the 10-yard line by Justin Jones.
Why not? Forget it, Rich. That's the ever-scroll block of the game. I don't know what happened earlier. I don't remember it. But that right there, Cody Scott frees him. And then you got another one right there. There's 2 ever-scroll blocks of the game on the same play. And Diaz springs free. He just didn't have the legs. And what's Ashlani doing? Turn around, block someone. You know, you don't get a medal if you beat him to the end zone. I mean, he's a small, quick running back, but turn around, make a block. You know, you got to get an escort to the end zone. And Diaz is going, you know, he gets tackled, and then he looks up and goes, "Are you kidding me, Ashlani? Come on."
Yeah, more push-ups to do, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm doing them here in the booth. I'm so upset.
First down and goal in the red zone. Offset eye. Looking to throw, goes left. It's complete. And Ajlani gets stopped at the 2. Second down and goal.
There you go. They tossed it to, you know, they said, if you're not going to block, well, you better catch. He caught it, couldn't get to the end zone, but it's a nice grab on the out route.
Yeah, Chad Guy makes a good tackle there to keep him out of the end zone. Second and goal for the Gladiators. 2 to the left with a tight end on the left-hand side. Diaz to his left in the shotgun. Mitchell takes the snap. Looking to throw. Has time into the end zone. Incomplete.
Oh. Well, he was trying to force a dart through the middle, and you know, that's a dangerous throw. If you're going to throw to the back of the end zone, you know, you want to throw it high and out of the way. That way it can't be picked off. You know, the defenders have less field to guard here when they're pinned up against their own end zone. If you're St. Louis, this is a very important 3rd and goal. You know, you're going to want to get this one if you know, this is your time, Rich. There's really no better opportunity than the 2-yard line.
Yeah, and then you've got to make that decision. Sits in the pocket, and he's hit and sacked. San Francisco sent the house.
Yeah, interesting, because I was going to say, you know, if you throw an incompletion, maybe think about going for it from the 2, but now that you're sacked back, I almost would suggest just taking the field goal and you know, saying to your defense, hey, I need one more.
And that looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, like I said,
yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of time. You know, they have the time. They have the timeouts. You know, kick this thing and get closer. That way, you know, you come back down. If you score, you win.
Low snap. He gets it down, though. Kick is up and good.
Wow.
Nice hold.
Yeah, great job by the holder. I mean, that thing hit him in the shin. That was not a good snap at all. And I'll tip it off here. 3:22 to go, Rich. You know, we're not done, but great job by the St. Louis special teams so far. Oh, I don't agree with this. Don't kick it onside.
Oh, my. Yeah, I don't agree with this at all. 3:22 left. There's plenty of time. That one bounces up. San Francisco takes it. And they will have amazing field position at the St. Louis 40-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, not dead. You know, they do have the opportunity here. You know, they really can't give up more than 10 or 15 yards. So they're not dead in the water, but, you know, you're asking a lot more of your defense now than you are if you would have kicked it deep. Although they did keep the ball out of Manning's hands. I don't know. Interesting decision. We'll see if it hurts him here.
High formation going to Zulu to the right. And he's going to get stopped after 3. Bring up 2nd and 7. And they were pretty excited about that 3-yard run.
Yeah, well, I mean, it keeps the clock going here.
That's right.
And, you know, Zulu hasn't had the most success. He's averaging about 2 yards a carry, so 3 is over that average, so we're going to celebrate it.
Back in the I formation. Everybody in tight. Ogunzulu at the back of the I. Going to drag that clock down as far as they can. They're going to give it to Zulu right up the middle, and he is going to get stopped just short of the first down, bring up 3rd down and 2.
Well, how's the song go, Rich? One moment, one opportunity to seize everything you've ever wanted. You know, Mom's spaghetti or something along those lines. You know, 3rd and 2, you got to get the stop here if you're going to make it.
Got to. Back in the offset I.
Oh, not a good formation from the D.
No, only 4 up on the front. Everybody else deep back behind. Drag the play clock down, goes to the right with Zulu. Plenty of room, has the first down. Stopped inside the 25 at the 24. And that'll bring us to the quit 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left. San Francisco 21, St. Louis 16.
Well, all right, now we get into damage control here, Rich. They kicked the field goal, you know, for San Francisco. You know, your hope is that you use your timeout so it doesn't waste too much time. And they're going to be back up 8. And so you still have the opportunity to go get it. You know, you're not done here, but, you know, you're in a worse clock decision. You're going to force Moody Mitchell into making, you know, some tough throws as opposed to having some more time on the clock. So here we go. You know, it's going to be a fun one, I'll tell you that.
First down at 10. Going to go to Zulu again to the right. And he is stopped after a 3-yard gain, and St. Louis will take their first timeout.
I was going to say, if San Francisco's taking the timeout, St. Louis is going to be hopping out of their seats cheering.
Somebody's paying somebody off. That's right.
No, none of that. Never.
No. Second down and 7, offset I. And again,
what do you got, St. Louis?
Yeah, St. Louis has got everybody back in coverage except the front 4. We're going to go to Zulu to the left-hand side. He's got tons of room.
Oh, he cut it back.
Yes, he did.
He cuts that outside, Rich. That might be 6, but he cuts it back, and, you know, we'll see if that was a smart or a poor decision. It kept the clock running. That's, you know, something.
Yeah, St. Louis, looks like St. Louis took their next timeout. The clock is stopped, and they are down to 1 timeout. Third down and 2. 1:51 left in this one. San Francisco.
Run it to the right.
In the red zone. They're going to throw it. Sits back, throws left. It's complete. Enough for a first down to Manning, and St. Louis will take their last timeout.
That's not good if you're the Gladiators. I mean, if I'm San Francisco, you know, maybe take some knees. I don't know. 147, you know, 25 seconds per game clock. You know, you're getting tight down there. It's, you know, if you take a knee here on every play, there might be some time left.
Take a knee and kick the field goal?
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to try and do.
So Juan Thomas does take a knee here on first down. A little extracurricular activity after the play.
That might be it. I mean, this one will be snapped with maybe 1 minute and 6 seconds left, and then, you know, from there you're going to waste another 30 seconds, so I don't know. Might be it.
This may be it.
I wish we were a little bit better at math, Rich. We would know.
Well, let's ask Avery. Hey, Avery. So they're going to run this play clock all the way down to 2. And the kneel down happens at 1:06, and that'll bring the game clock down inside 30 seconds before the next snap happens on third down.
And they'll just take a knee, so that, you know, that'll be it. St. Louis put up a good effort, but, you know, it really came down to this last drive. They just couldn't, you know, make the stop and get off the field to give their offense the ball back. And, you know, that's what I'm saying, Rich. You know, maybe they rethink that onside. Maybe they rethink that red zone decision to kick the field goal instead of going for it. A lot to consider, you know, in hindsight, but in the moment, you know, you got to do what's best for your team.
That's right. Everything's in a moment, and every decision can go either way.
Yep.
So that will end this one for us. San Francisco 21, St. Louis 16 is going to be the final. Juan Thomas ends up 29 for 46 for 363 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Ogunzulu ends up with 40 yards on 13 attempts. He has that 1 receiving touchdown on the night. On the St. Louis side, well, if I can look correctly, well, there's the totals. 365 passing for San Francisco, 216 for St. Louis. 126 yards rushing for Denzel Diaz.
Yeah, and both teams, I think Rich played really admirably, whether it was San Francisco or St. Louis, they both had some good plays, both had some bad plays. This game does not define either of them. There's a long season left, more weeks, more chances to win and upset some teams. I think for both of these teams, there's a lot to take away from this opportunity to face each other, a lot to learn from, and a lot to, take forward.
So here is our extraordinary Everest player of the game, Juan Thomas III, with those stats I just told you, 28 for 45, 365 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a 91.4 quarterback rating. Great game for Juan Thomas III, the rookie. Only been around since week 4.
Yep.
So that'll do
quick.
it. Yeah, really matured quick. That'll do it from here at Budweiser Stadium in St. Louis. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Avery Allen, on stats, keeping us updated and, again, doing the math that we really didn't want to do.
Yep. Did not want to do that math. Still don't.
That's right. Thanks, Andy Hamilton, for joining me tonight on Last Minute. Appreciate you stepping in.
No problem. Thanks to all the fans who showed up and showed out. It was a great game.
Great game. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. For Andy Hamilton and Avery Allen, Rich Ratchett saying good night. We'll see you next time.